Hi, my name is Caleb. I'm 17. Do you remember your first relationship? When I first fell in love, I thought that my girlfriend and I would always be together. And now I lose her every morning. It's hard to explain, but I'll try. We had been dating for 6 months and were completely happy. But I remember when things went sideways. I invited Kylie over to spend the night. We had been waiting for this for a long time. That night was supposed to be, well, you know what I mean. I made sure that my parents weren't coming home until Monday, cleaned my room, and lit some candles. We were lying on my bed, and both of us were nervous. I decided to defuse the situation and began tickling Kylie. She was laughing and accidentally spilled her drink on me. She told me that now I had to take my shirt off and blushed. Kylie looked so cute. I couldn't resist and touched her face. We fell asleep in each other's arms, and I was completely happy. I woke up because Kylie's phone was vibrating on the nightstand. I heard the sound of water. She was in the shower. I knew that I shouldn't touch her phone, but it was keeping me from sleeping. I was also curious. What I saw shocked me. Some guy named Aiden had sent her a bunch of messages. He said that he loved her and didn't want to break up. He clearly didn't have the wrong number because he continued typing. I jumped out of bed and went to the bathroom. I couldn't believe that Kylie would do this to me. I felt cheated and wanted to know the truth. But the closer I came, the less sure I felt. What if I were to lose her that very morning? It even hurt to think about. I wasn't ready. Kylie got out of the shower and saw me. The look on her face was so angry. I thought it was about her phone, which I was still holding in my hand. I didn't know then that the previous night had been stressful for her, and there were consequences. She just pounced on me. But why? I was the one who deserved to be angry. I had dodged everything that she threw at me. Kylie did it with such hatred that it sent shivers down my spine. When she grabbed my soccer trophy, I knew I was done for. I barely managed to dodge it. Kylie left the room, slamming the door. It took me a while to recover. I carefully left the room and started looking for her. I didn't understand how she could calmly be drinking coffee after that. My hands were trembling. I decided to try talking to her. "Can we talk?" Irritated, she turned to me and answered.
"What do you want?"
The way she answered hurt me. But I needed answers, so I decided to be direct. "Are you angry that I found out about Aiden?" Kylie looked at me like I was an idiot. For a second, I thought that the whole thing was just a stupid misunderstanding. Tea was all in my head, and she had just woken up in a bad mood. But then she said,
"I don't know any Aiden. You just annoy me. Don't ever talk to me again."
"What?" I couldn't imagine that a person whom I had loved so much could say that. What had I done wrong? I looked at her and I saw Kylie's face, but it was like looking at a stranger. After that, for several days, I couldn't reach Kylie. I felt exhausted, but I didn't want everything to end like that. I decided to go straight to her house. When I saw her, my heart sank. She was very pale, and her eyes were red with tears. I held out my hand to touch her cheek, but she pulled away and ran into the house. I followed her and found her in the corner of her room. I sat next to her and asked her what was wrong. What she told me horrified me. She told me that she had stayed late at the pool the day before and was alone in the locker room. This surprised me because yesterday she had been with me and I knew for sure that Kylie didn't swim. Then she said that their coach came in and closed the door. She was terribly scared and ran away from him into the closet, where she hid until her parents found her. I didn't know what to say and just hugged her. She clung to me and cried for a very long time. I knew that something unusual was happening to my girlfriend, and I had to figure it out. That was more important than my feelings. I spent the whole next day looking for evidence. I found the website of Kylie's old school. I looked across the photos and came across a picture of the youth swimming team and their coach. Among the names was Kylie's. Everything inside me froze. What she said was true. After a while, Kylie came over. I was immediately worried about her and told her to come in. She looked different and definitely better than yesterday. We sat on the couch and I wanted to tell her that I believed her and that she could rely on me. She spoke first and shocked me.
I think you already know everything, and I want to explain.
She started telling me about Aiden, that he was a wonderful guy and she loved him, that she tried to leave him but couldn't do it. She needed my permission to be with him. I realized that it was becoming difficult for me to breathe. That was complete nonsense. Listening to it was unbearable. But I couldn't even imagine what else I was about to find out. She was wary and asked whether I knew about her illness. I was unable to speak and just shook my head. Then she clasped her hands and said disappointingly,
But your girlfriend promised to tell you everything.
Then Kylie, or whoever it was, told me the truth. It turned out that the incident with the swimming coach had happened when she was 8. She had tried to suppress those memories and thought that she had succeeded. But she was wrong. Years later, Kylie made a shocking discovery about herself. She had a split personality. Doctors diagnosed her with dissociative identity disorder and found out that 4 full-fledged individuals were living inside of Kylie. That day, I had met the last of them. While I was digesting the truth, she told me that she called herself Mia and was trying to live her own life. Their relationship with Aiden wasn't a problem until Kylie had started dating me, and she didn't know what to do now. It was too much. Just the thought that my girlfriend had another boyfriend was pissing me off. But on the other hand, now I understood Aiden better than anyone. I told her that I needed to be alone and think. I took Kylie, or Mia, home and went back to my room. The whole story seemed unreal. But she had explained everything that was going on. I didn't know what decision to make, but I knew exactly what I needed to do. I found girls from Kylie's swim team and talked to them. It turns out she was not the only one who had suffered abuse by the coach. They were hiding it because they were afraid of him and were ashamed of what happened. I asked them to make their story public. Together, they could bring that monster down. They could help Kylie. They agreed to do it for her. After a while, the story received publicity. I was at home when the news showed a story about Kylie's coach. He was arrested. I felt so relieved. He was presented with a bunch of charges and already had a court date set. He would no longer be able to escape punishment. I immediately grabbed my phone to call Kylie. We agreed to meet up. She looked so tired and frazzled. Tears were streaming from her eyes. I remember how she looked into my eyes with hope. I didn't know who exactly was in front of me, but my heart ached and I told her that now she could be happy. It was the only way to defeat the person who had hurt her. I told her that I understood if she would be happy with Aiden or someone else. I hugged her and tried to take that moment in. Maybe it was our last hug. But then she looked at me in surprise and asked how she could be happy with someone else when she loved me. My girlfriend! She was back! I can't say that my life got better after that. After all of that stress, Kylie's condition was unstable and her personalities kept changing. But I love her no matter what. I even like waking up with a new girl every morning, even if one of her personalities can't stand me. But there was still one problem. When I met Mia, another person who lives inside of Kylie, I saw how unhappy she was. I knew that sometimes I was a stranger to her, and that she loved Aiden, and then me again. Their relationship depends on me. I think I've made my decision. At some point, I'm going to break up with her. I hope it's the right move. Support me in the comments.